Hey everybody, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching. So today I'm going to show you how to make this Z-fold flip card. That's what I'm going to call it. I have a request section on my blog, which is linked below this video, and you can request tutorials there. You can share links, you can share pictures if you've seen something somewhere else. And eventually I tried to get through them all. And I saw this one, and the image that Hayley shared was from Pinterest, but there was no watermark on the card, so I don't know who to credit. I've seen this design around and it has been done a lot of times. So the inspiration's come from that, but I've put my twist on it. And I'm going to do two sizes. So this is the 5x7. You can see when you open it, it flips over and you see the other side there. And then you've got your space inside to write your message. It all stands up. If you want, you could have a nice image here and write your message on the back. And then it all folds down flat, and that's going to go into your envelope. So I've got this one here, just a note. You don't have to be perfect to be amazing. And then the next one I'm going to make is going to be a 6x6, and it's going to be more of a Valentine style. So I'm using the Sent with Love Katie Skilton paper pad, and I might use the floral stamp set, I'm not sure, but I'm going to use the sentiment set there. I did say when I got this one last year that I think I'm going to use it a lot for the Valentine's makes. It's just got a beautiful colour palette. It's got some lovely toppers there as well. And this time I'm going to do the aperture with the heart shape. So you can do any shape, flip or aperture that you want. So this could be a circle, square, rectangle, star, or a heart, and anything else you can think of. You don't need a die machine either. I actually drew around the square shape, so if you've got something that's circular, a heart shape, you don't do die cutting, then you can just draw around and cut it as well. So I'm going to be making the 6x6 version. However, I'm using A4 cards, so it's slightly under. So the A4 card's 11 3/4. If you've got 12, then you want to score at 6 inches. And also if you've got A4, just score there, which I have, just down at 6 inches. If you want to do the 5x7, the measurements for this size will be on my blog, but you want a piece of 10x7 and you're going to score at 5. Okay, we'll do some extra scoring in a moment. So I've scored at 6, so I've got this 6x6 section here, and that's where I want to make my die cut. Now I'm going to partially die cut, or you're going to partially hand cut. It's entirely up to you. So this set here is the Heart Nestables by Creative Craft Products, and they're just nice simple hearts, but I think the size is going to work perfect for the 6x6, which is why I've gone for that size, because the heart is wider. So I think I'm going to go for this size, and then I can have that one as the layer. So if you've got heart dies, or you know, you want to get a similar size, this is 4.5 wide by, you're looking at 4 high. That's going to be the main cut. Now get rid of the scoreboard because we don't actually need that anymore. So what I would recommend you doing is, first of all, is just adding a faint pencil line. We'll be rubbing it all out afterwards, but it's going to help get the shape, whatever it is you're using, centered. So you've got your 6-inch score line, so I'm just going to put a little marker at 3 inches and also along the bottom, and then I'm going to just join that up. Now for this one I'm going to have this design on the front, whereas I had it on the inside on the other one. So I'm going to cut this to 5 3/4 squared. So whatever pattern paper, you might choose not to have pattern paper on the front. You might be using a pattern cardstock to start with. Now I'm not going to stick this down. I'm just going to place it over the top and just lightly tack it on the edges. So I'm just going to take some of the stickiness off there, I don't want this to rip. So just make sure it's in the middle of that 6x6 piece. You've got a nice border. And again, next you want to be able to, we're going to cut this in a moment. Now the heart I want to place in the middle, so I can see my pencil mark here and I can see it there as well. So I'm just going to move that across, make sure they're both lined up. And again, just taking some of the stickiness off there, just so I can use the heart in the middle, maybe on a belly band or some other project. So just tacking that in place. So next I just want to partially cut. So I want to cut this left hand side of the heart only. So with partial die cutting, whatever's between the plates is what we'll cut. So I'm going to pop the plate right down so the end lines up with the middle of the heart there, and then just run that through. Okay, so now we can take everything off, including the pattern paper, like so. And what you should have is a partially cut shape, so whether it be the heart, square, whatever you're doing. If you're slightly off, just join up the cut to the pencil mark. There we go. Okay, just going to rub that out, and then with my scoreboard I'm going to go back over so it's at the 3-inch marker, and it should join just at the top there of whatever it is you've cut. And then what I might do is just flip it 3 inches, going to bring me to the bottom there, and I can flip it back again and then just redo that the right way. Okay, now you're going to fold the card in half and then fold that piece back. So you'll see there you've got your heart shape, which will flip from both sides. And then with the pattern paper, when we trim that in a minute, we've got a perfect matte layer to go on that side there. And again, what I can do now is cut that, and then I've got the same to go around this side as well. Okay, so I'm just going to give that a good burnish. And then I think I'm going to have the pink heart paper on the inside, because that's going to really help all of this pop. And then with that print and then the heart in the middle, I think it's going to come together quite nicely. So this piece here I'm going to cut to 5 3/4 squared. Okay, next I'm going to take this piece and just cut right down through the middle. So just make sure the point there and there all lines up with the blade. And then I'm going to stick that one on the back. I just thought I probably didn't have to cut it, actually. You could just stick it right down, couldn't you? So yeah, there you go. But you might want to have a different design on that side. So actually cutting it in half does reduce the bulk on the fold, and it's still obviously the pattern joins up there, so it's up to you if you want to cut it in half or not. Also, just to recap, everything I've done with this, the process of this is just what you would do with a 5x7, but when you go to do that score line to join whatever the shape is, it would be at 2.5, because it's half of that 5-inch piece. So okay, now it's down to the decoration. I mean, I could have that one in the middle there, it does look quite nice, and then we'll then maybe have the white. Yeah, maybe I'll keep that there as a frame. I'll have a white heart with the next size down there, and then what I'm going to do is have this die cut in white on the front, and then I'm going to choose one of my sentiments here. So again, you can see how I did that one there. So I think sending love, because I've got the hearts. And what I might do is heat emboss this one here that says hugs and kisses, and cut that one out, and then have it maybe just decorated here or down here. I think that would look nice. And then inside it will say, "You are amazing," and never forget that. So you would have just seen me prepare all of this. So I've already stuck that one down, which I like, but I think I'm going to add some faux stitching with my white gel pen, just to fill that space. It's a little bit wider than I'd like. I've stamped and embossed the little heart there, which I think is really cute, which says hugs and kisses. And then I think I'm going to do this one slightly different. So on this one, I've got my space for my message here, but on this one, I think I'm going to have the message there, and then the place to write something here. Like I said, it's up to you. I'm just showing you, a few different ways and how it all looks. Then you can decide which one you want to do. So I've just cut the same hearts that I showed you before and embossed the sentiment. Actually, when you do this one, what you want to do is just place it behind that one, like so. Okay, and then fold the card, and then you can just move that around. You just want to make sure you get it lined up. There we go, with the front. So that's all in place. And then I've got that one there. The hearts are slightly going off to the left, but it was a bit of scrap and I didn't want to cut into a fresh piece. You're only seeing a little bit of it, and I think if I hadn't have said anything, most of you probably would have noticed. So And then I'm just going to line that one back up with the original size, and just make sure you flip it back over each time just to check that nothing's hanging over the edges. And then that heart there. I mean, if you wanted to, I think I said at the beginning, you could just have all of this with images and sentiments and write your message on the back. But I think if your written message is on this side, when it's displayed, you don't see the message. And I've said that before in the past. I actually prefer cards when they're displayed that you can't see the message someone's wrote. You just see all the lovely designs. So it's up to you. I think either way is going to look nice, but if you're someone that likes that to kind of stay hidden, then I think you'll prefer it on the left. So I've got my white gel pen there, and then I've just got this tiny little tube here which has got all different coloured hearts, and it's got some nice pinks and reds in there. So I'm just going to add a few of them there, do the stitching, and I think that's it. I did cut these flowers which were left over from the first card, but I think you can't have it, well, I guess you could have it up there, because when that, yeah, so it doesn't interfere with it, I guess, rather than them get wasted. We'll see. I'll finish everything else and then I'll show you. So there's the finished card. So you can see I didn't go for the flower, just thought it was a bit much. So I've just done 3 of the enamel dots there, done the faux stitching, and that was using the Jelly Roll 10 size pen there. And then inside you can see your space there. Displays really nicely. I like it just like that. It's hard to see, but that's how it looks when it's open. I think it looks quite sweet. But as I said at the beginning, I think by changing the shape of the aperture, so if you do a star, for example, I think that would make a lovely Christmas card. You could have the circle and do like a snow globe. I think there's just so much scope for it. And again, there's the 5x7 with the square. So thank you to Hayley for sending in the card request. I hope you've enjoyed the cards that I've shared and the ways that I put it together. And as always, I will link the product that I've used in the description box below. I'll have some other similar swing flip cards popping up now. You might want to watch those next. And as I always say, if you've not subscribed to my channel and you've enjoyed watching today's tutorial, consider subscribing and hit the notification bell. And that way you won't miss out on any future videos. Take care, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.